Is there anything in the Bible that you yourself have an issue with? Okay, so it took you reading the Bible to realize that those things were bad for you?
Yeah, it actually did. I
Couldn't
didn't
figure this out on your own?
No, Ted Bundy could be redeemed. God doesn't kill children.
What do you think the Passover was? Yahweh sets up a whole system in the Old Testament where you slaughter animals just so he's able to forgive you.
Today's special guest is life coach Zoey Rana. Welcome to the show, Zoey.
No, thank you so much, Michael, for having me. I'm so excited to spend this time talking to you and talking to your guest. I'm so excited for them to hear my voice and whatever I got to say.
Gotcha. Well, thanks for taking the time. Thanks for coming on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your life coach? What do you do there?
So I guess I'm kind of a starter one, but I just help people because I'm from like a very religious background and I have mental health struggles. So I just help people with that, like mental health. I have borderline personality disorder. So I help people with like borderline and I help people with like religion and stuff. But like, I would say just really my friends and family right now, but I'm trying to get like to do TED Talks and stuff. I'm trying to get on there and get like a bigger platform to do it. I'm just very, very beginner right now. And I just want people to hear my voice and I want to just help people out with like religious struggles and mental health.
Thank you for that. What specifically did you want to help them out with the religious struggles?
Just I guess just knowing that that they can get out, that there's a way out, and they don't have to feel so trapped. Because when I was growing up, I always felt trapped, and I want to know that they are not trapped, and there's a way out, that they can literally just leave and live their life, and they don't have to struggle in like a religious situation, because they don't have to, really.
Yeah, no, good. So what would you say to somebody who's struggling with religion right now? I mean, besides the you can get out part, is there a way you go about it or reach them?
I don't know. I would just say, I just tell them like, are you happy? Is there out for you to leave? Like, are you okay? Is there someone you can go to, like friends or family you can go to? If not, just leave. Like, just go. Like what I done, I moved out of my home and then I moved to Canada. Just leave country, move to another country. Just get away as far as possible as you can and start fresh. Just start fresh anywhere you can and just don't worry about your family. Just gain all the confidence you need and gain more friends, and then your friends will become your family, I guess. But that's what happened to me, so.
Gotcha. Well, good for you for breaking out of the religion part there. Where do you stand now as far as religion go? What would you wouldn't label yourself religious, but would you specify with a specific?
I would say I'm religious. I was Muslim growing up, but I'm very much Christian now. I about 5 months ago I started believing in God, so I'm very much a very beginner Christian as well because it's only been 5 months. But I very much believe in God, and I read Bible script here and there, and I would say Christianity, like believing in God, has literally just saved my life, and I love it so much, and it's just saved my life. And I would say to people like people, I know there's people out there like, oh no, God's not real, like what is that? But like God is real. God is literally real, and the universe is real, and it's so beautiful. And just you got to start believing in something like that. There's more out there than what you think there is, because there's someone out there listening, and God is listening. And like I said, He's changed my life. Like He saved me, like, from being like this depressed girl, not knowing what to do. And now I have more friends, my best friends, and I have more confidence because of Him. And
Huh.
He can do that for you too. Like, you can gain more confidence if you believe in God. And
How does that work for you? Belief in God equals confidence.
I don't know, because I
Hmm.
guess because it makes me feel like I used to think I'm alone, but then I realized
Okay.
I'm not alone. Like, I'm praying. There's someone out there that's actually listening to my prayers, and I have proof, so much proof of that. And it just made me confident. So I'm not alone. Like, so there's someone out there that is with me that I can't see, obviously, but like that's with me.
Huh.
And yeah, it's been a
So
good.
how do you know that specifically? You said you have prayers or proof of prayers being answered. So do you have, besides the proof of prayers being answered, do you
Okay.
have proof that it was your God answering those prayers?
Yeah, I believe it's God because, like, I don't know, 'cause I remember there was one time where I was really suicidal, and I was like going to jump into this lake in England when I was back in England.
Hmm.
And then I felt like this force like stop me, and I instantly stopped crying. It was like shoving
Okay.
away or something. And I was like, holy crap. And I thought, oh, that's coincidence. And now looking back, I was like, no, that was God. Like, He was just
So
telling me,
how do you know that was God, though? I mean, I'm glad
no,
you didn't do it.
I just
I'm
I
glad
just
you felt differently, but how do you know specifically it was God? Did He say, "Hey, by the way, don't do it. I'm God," or was it just a feeling?
it was just a feeling. I just felt it
Yeah.
in my soul. Like,
I
I
don't.
just
Do you trust your feelings all the time?
no, I don't. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt something was different. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
Yeah.
stuff is like unexplainable, but I believe it's God. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain.
Right. Yeah. See, that's the weird part for me is you can explain what happened, but you can't explain that it was exactly this being.
Yeah,
Sorry, but
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. I do know what you mean, and I mean, I don't know. You
Hmm.
just gotta start believing in something. Like, there's something out there, and then just
I
see.
believe there's things out there, but to make that jump to believing that there's something out there to knowing that this thing out there is God. And this
Yeah.
particular God, because there's lots of different gods out there that have been created. So
Yes.
as far as this one goes, I'm going to need a little more evidence or proof than just I had a feeling, to believe that something is real. I have feelings all the time. That doesn't mean my feelings can be trusted and my feelings are right. Sometimes later down the road, like, oh, that feeling was worthless. I shouldn't have done that one. I don't know why I felt that way. But time does that. But to know that it's your God without the evidence and just the feeling is weird for me. I can't do that one. So is that where you're talking about when God saved your life? Is that
Yeah.
the okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was, and many
And
other times, like stressing about getting a home because I thought, oh, I'm gonna be like homeless, but then
hmm,
the day I go and then I get a home. But I was stressing out for like months on end, and
yeah.
then God knew that this is it. Like,
Wow.
enough. I know it could be cool. I don't know how to
It
explain
could be
it.
Spider-Man, Zoe. I mean, honestly, have you tried praying to Spider-Man? I feel that works more than God. It's more of a 60-40 than a 40-30 or 40-60, type thing with God or Spider-Man.
I
So,
just don't know how to explain it. It's just like I don't know because like if I pray one day and then like
mhm,
I'm like, oh, it's never gonna happen, and like a week later it happens. I'm like, oh,
right.
because and I know you're gonna say like that could be anything, coincidence,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I just believe it was
So
God.
when I want things to happen for me and I'm putting my thoughts into the universe of, hey, I'm going to need help in this situation. I don't know what to do in this situation. Anybody could be picking up those thoughts. Any of the gods out there could be picking them up. Even Spider-Man or the green light god me and the kids created. It could
Yeah.
be anybody. So again, just to point out one specific god is a little difficult. I mean, how do we get to that specific God? You said you grew up Muslim.
Yes.
Now, isn't that the same God?
It is, but like with
So
I just feel like with Muslim, I was never religious. It's more like just like abuse, and like the religion is so strict and stuff.
Huh. So the Christianity, you don't see that as an abusive thing either.
No, but I
Hmm.
don't know. I know it is though. But like
What?
for me
Well,
personally, I believe it's more freedom and we have more rights. And with Muslim, we didn't have rights as like women, and it's like all this like
Christianity can be very strict as well. There's a lot of sects out there that are very Christian sects. So
yeah,
yes and no. But it's the same thing. It's this. My problem is the God itself, not the religion itself. The God itself that everybody says is great and worships. Um, that's the problem with me.
yeah. I mean, I don't know like how to explain it. Like God is just like it's just like unexplainable. It's God. Like he is maybe yeah, I don't know what to say. I
Well,
don't
to
know.
me, it's more like an abusive relationship with an invisible man because of what God demands and how God acts. Those are the things I have an issue with. One of the main things I have an issue with. There's many, many, many things. But as far as God is concerned, what happens when you don't love God?
God will still love you. Like
Right.
God,
He'll still love me, but what happens to me? Do I get to go to heaven and live forever?
yeah, like God loves.
That's not what the Bible says.
Yeah, okay, but we're all children of God, and
God drowns his kids. That's what happened in the flood. I don't really want to be a child of God if that's how he treats his kids.
uh,
And then the kids for Job, he killed Job's kids, and then he gave him a new set, like it's supposed to be awesome or something. I'm sorry, if you kill my kids, those kids are dead. You giving me new kids doesn't help with that situation whatsoever. The Job story is just disgusting, but that's beside the point. So
yes,
God says, "Love me, or I'll curse you." Essentially, I don't think that's a loving relationship. That's very abusive.
it is abusive, but like it's still loving in a way.
It's not the
Like
kind of love I would like. That's not the kind of perfect love that Christians speak of.
no, but like I know you said like we're all like he drowns, but like we're all children of God. Like
Why would
I,
you want to be a child of God if he drowns his kids for not listening?
but like I don't know, like I don't know, but like I
That's not
never
very loving.
I never used to be a believer, and then I was just crying, having this meltdown, and
Yeah.
then I never believed, and then I believed him in that like second. I was like praying to God, even though I never prayed before, and then
Mhm.
literally I felt like a wave come over me of like stop
Hmm.
crying and just a relaxing
Were you pouring your heart out?
yeah, I was pouring my
Yeah, it
heart.
feels good to do that, doesn't it?
Yeah, but like
Regardless of who you're talking to. Pouring
no,
your heart out is good for us, and
no,
it makes you feel better.
but you feel like a force. Like I've
Oh,
heard
yeah.
countless people say, like my friends and family say, they feel like a force after they pray. They just felt like a
Okay.
a relaxing feeling.
I
Um,
have the same thing after I eat or, go to the bathroom sometimes. I just have that relaxing feeling. That doesn't mean it's God. It's just feelings. We cannot trust our feelings as far as we can trust them, obviously, but we can't just assume that we're having this feeling because there's an invisible man involved. And that's again, the weird part for me is we're just assuming at this point that this
and
God, who's an abusive God, is
he's
is helping you.
abusive, but he's also very loving. Like again, with
Let's
children.
stop right there, Zoe. Let's stop right there.
Sorry.
He's abusive, but
Yeah.
he's also loving.
Mhm.
That is horrible. That's not the way to have a relationship with somebody.
But
If
he
my wife was abusive but also loving, we wouldn't be together.
but he doesn't abuse like all his children. Like it's
Not
like
all of them, just some of them.
but
Come
like
on, Zoe.
I don't know what to say. I don't know
How
what to
does that sound any better?
my mind is baffled right now, Michael. And I know this is your podcast, but like, I don't know. Like, he
Yeah.
doesn't like he. I guess he's like a normal like a person. Like we do some
Hmm.
things sometimes that we're not supposed to be doing, and like
Like picking up sticks on the Sabbath. God gets
yeah,
pretty mad if you do that one. Did you read that story yet?
I have not. But like,
God has them stoned to death because they picked up sticks on the Sabbath, his holy day. Because of his day, if you don't, pay attention to him on his day, he'll have you killed. So, I
but
mean,
like, yeah, when you start, I don't know how to explain it, but like when you like start praying to him, like he maybe he just like starts loving you even more. Like,
so
I
he
don't.
wants praise and he wants the attention, and then he'll love you more. Again, that's abusive. Pay attention to me and I'll love you more. That's
Yeah,
that's 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 terrible.
that is true, but like he like he makes mistakes as well. Like no one's
God
perfect.
makes mistakes.
Yeah, like we makes
Huh.
mistakes as well. Like no one's perfect. And then
I thought God was perfect.
yes, he
Oh,
is. Like
but he makes mistakes
yes, I
and
guess
he's abusive.
yes.
Come on, Zoe. This is you're pulling my chain here.
Very cool. Like my mind is like baffled. I should have done more research into this. Like
You're okay. You're okay.
I don't know. Like just God is just like I know. Yeah, he abuses his kids and does stuff to his kids, but like he loves us all, and it's just like
Joey, this sounds so bad. It sounds so bad. It sounds terrible. Does
what
does God show up when you ask him to? Let's go with that one. Does
you
God show up? No.
He not because the thing about that is he's like for like personal experience he's like teaching you like patience or he wants you to experience something like suffering before he gives you what you want because he wants to
Wow.
teach.
It's so
But like
bad. It's so bad. He wants
no,
you to suffer before he gives you the things you need.
like that's kind
Zoe,
that's kind of a good thing because
no.
no
Tell me why. Tell me why.
because you learn like skills like
I
if
don't
you're
need to suffer to learn a skill, Zoe.
But if you're broke and have no money, and it's just
What?
teaching you that it's okay. You don't need money right now. You can.
Or you could just be going through some times. We've all been there. Holy cow, 100%. I don't think Jesus is teaching me a lesson in brokenness. I know what it's like to be broke. Thanks, Jesus. I mean, doesn't God want the best
Uh,
for you? Why would he be breaking you down and causing you all of these problems just to teach you a lesson when he can teach you a lesson without breaking you down and causing you problems? Also,
because
he showed up for Gideon, he showed up for Saul. When people ask for him to show up in the Bible, he shows up. But it's some reason outside of these stories, he doesn't. Just
yeah,
saying.
I know you're gonna say why would he cause suffering, but he's causing us to like patience and to
Okay.
become better human beings. Because I feel like for me, like I've gained more
I
confidence,
can be a better human being without suffering, Zoe. I'm
but
telling you right now, I can
we're
be a better
learning.
human being without suffering.
But we're learning more about our flaws, and we're learning more about
Yep.
like just
I can do all of that without suffering.
but like I think he's trying to like not do it like straight to our face. He's just trying to like just do it when we most need it. Like maybe in that time we don't really need it, but
Hmm.
when we're at our lowest and he's like,
We need to suffer sometimes, is what you're saying.
yeah.
Zoe, that's so terrible.
No, I know because I hate it too. Sometimes I'm
It
also
doesn't
like
make sense, Zoe. It
I
doesn't add up for me.
oh, but like it's also it just challenges you. It makes you like a better human being and
I
more
can
like
be challenged without suffering, Zoe. I don't need the suffering. God knows I don't need the suffering. So let's go back to your evil thing. You mentioned there for the problem with evil a little bit. So what about Satan? Is there a Satan?
yes, there's a Satan.
Where'd he come from?
He came from hell. Like,
He came
he,
from hell. Who
like
created Satan?
like God?
God created Satan. Did God know what Satan was going to do?
No.
So God's not all knowing and he's not perfect.
Yes.
Ha!
Like oh God.
You must be worshiping a different God than the Bible God because that Bible God says he knows everything and he's perfect.
Yes.
So you
He
kind of made up your own God here, is where we're
no,
going.
like I don't know.
No.
Like Satan, he just he came because he doesn't want us to do good. Like he wants
Well, I wouldn't create a being like that. That's just me. And if it's the all-knowing Christian God, then he's all-knowing, and he knew
he wants
before he
someone
created him.
to get in our path to stop us, and I guess this is also kind of like the bad part of God. Like he wants us to lean over to God. Like
So I'm going to create a bully to pick my kids or pick on my kids
yeah.
so that they'll love me more. Does that sound like a good idea?
No, but like in
Nope.
like bullying in school and stuff, like if your kid or like never got bullied, then they will never learn to stick up for themselves.
What? Zoey,
What?
you have some strange views. That is so weird. So we need Satan to know to stick up for ourselves and to love God. We need this ultimate bad guy that goes around destroying people.
Well, obviously not. We all hate him, but like we don't
I
have.
don't hate him. I don't think he's real. So I don't. I
You
don't.
don't think
Not
he's real?
all of us hate Satan.
I mean,
I don't
like,
hate God either. I don't think he's real.
but like in bad times, it's like God is just making us lean over to Him, and
That's
just like,
terrible. I'm going to cause you suffering so that you love me more.
but it's all like I know you just said it, but it's also teaching us that like
That's disgusting, Zoe.
for us.
That's horrible. Stop defending an abuser. Oh, it's terrible. And he's an invisible abuser to make it worse. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like I don't know what to say. It's just like God is just something that is just unexplainable. Like,
Right. So let's not believe in things that are unexplainable. That's where I'm at. I'm not going to put all my trust into something that's unexplainable. I'm
well,
just
like
not.
all these things that happen in your life,
Uh-huh.
like for my life as well, and everyone's life,
Yeah.
like sometimes you're like, how did that even happen? So it's like,
Yeah, but I don't think there's some God out there controlling my life or some devil or some God controlling a devil to control my life to teach me a
no,
lesson. That's just so weird.
but like, but like these weird things that happen and like stuff you were thinking about for ages that happen, it's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
this couldn't happen by itself. Like,
Always going to happen by itself. That's exactly how it happens. There's no
no,
magical button. There's no magical beings. There's nobody doing anything except for us. That's all I see. Every
I'm
time I hear Christians talk about God interacting with the real world, it's people doing things, not God. When you got yourself a place, who got that for you? Was it you or God?
no, it was me, but it was
It
also
was you. Yeah.
he pushed me because he saw me like
How did he push you?
because I was crying and suffering for about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then the last day before I had to move out, like he showed me this ad and then I got it. But like
He showed you an ad. He walked into your place,
no,
picked up the newspaper and said, "Hey, Zoe, look at this." Or
no,
did
but
you
like
pick up the newspaper and look at it yourself?
no, he gave me a feeling in my mind, like he gives me feelings to like,
Okay.
oh, go on that website, message that person.
I don't understand what that means. He gave you a feeling to go on a website. Help me
Yeah,
understand that.
he like control like he like maybe I was on the website and then I don't know how to explain it.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, Zoe.
I know it doesn't.
I
Like
think you went there. I think you were thinking of looking for
I,
apartments and it popped into your head to look in this different spot or this site. And you looked there and you found a
no,
place. You did all the work.
no,
Stop giving glory to God.
I went there, but like God, he saw my suffering and he was like, you know what, this is gonna end soon because I was on the website and then it happened to be there at the right time, right moment. I know that it could be right time, right moment, but like
Yeah. Yeah.
it could also be God. Like I don't know.
Right. So God's helping you find an apartment. Meanwhile, children are being assaulted in his house.
Yes.
That's terrible. That's absolutely horrible.
It is terrible. But
Why
like,
would you worship that God that finds you an apartment while in his own house, children are assaulted?
because he has, I get that children are assaulting, but he has from past history, he's changed my life for the best.
Right.
That's
But what about these other kids? What about these Christian kids that are begging and pleading for the pain to stop? What about those kids? But God found you an apartment, Zoe. You see my problem here? Do you see my issue with this?
I do see that, but like,
It's grotesque. If that is true, if God is helping people find their keys, if God is helping people find apartments, meanwhile in his own house, this most grotesque thing is happening, and they're crying out to him to stop. That's grotesque. That's horrible. That is absolutely horrible. I would never worship such a being.
no, it's
Can you
horrible.
ask him why he allows this to happen? Maybe he'll send you a feeling of a yes or no.
No, like I don't know why
Mm.
he done it. Like he's perfect, but then he's not perfect, which doesn't make any sense.
That
No,
doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
I don't know.
Zoe, I
I
don't know
don't.
about your beliefs here.
I'm I'm confused right now as well. Like I feel like you're changing my mind as well, but like
Hmm.
you're not, because I started believing in, like, I guess the universe before
Okay. The
and God.
universe is something tangible. We can see it. There's pictures of it for one.
But
We've had
but
people travel in it.
but I mean, like the higher energy, like believing in something that's like
Okay.
that's just there. Like you have to believe in something that you can't see because it makes
No,
you
I
feel
don't.
so down.
Zoe, I don't. I don't have to believe in anything I can't see. I don't have to. I don't
You
have
know,
to believe anything, actually.
but it is there. The universe is there.
The universe is there. But you know what, Zoe? I'm not even 100% sure that the universe is there. Yes, I can see it. Yes, there's been people that have walked in it, so I've told. But, I'm not 100% certain, and I'm not going to base my life on that
But
universe is right there waiting for me. I'm
but like,
not.
have you ever like been like, oh yeah, universe, like, what am I gonna do tomorrow? And then they give you like,
No.
no, because that happens to me.
No. I don't. I mean, I talk to myself. I don't talk to an invisible man. I'm a real tangible being that I talk to. No, but I did one time have a guest who told me to just talk to a voice in my head, which was weird. But I ended up talking to Spider-Man, and that worked out great. But it was just end up talking to an invisible man. It's
But
like
when you
having an invisible
Spider-Man,
friend
do you
as an
mean
adult.
Spider-Man your God, or just what do you mean when you say Spider-Man?
He's a fictional character, just like God,
I know that.
that
No,
has a book.
no,
But actually, Spider-Man has more books than God.
I don't know how to explain it, Michael. It's just like I've literally sat like in the dark somewhere, and I'm like, oh, universe, like, what am I gonna do tomorrow? Like, oh, get my get my friend to message me, and then it happens, and you're like,
Uh-huh.
the universe is listening to you. Or like, I have money struggles. What am I gonna do? And then the universe or the God just gives me a job, and it's just like,
That's how life works. You get your ups and downs. It's a roller coaster. Yes, I'm broke. I have money. I'm broke. I have money. I'm happy. I'm sad. I mean, that's how life works. I'm going through crap. I'm done going through crap. I'm about to go through crap. I'm going through more crap. I mean, that's just how life is. I don't need an
but
invisible man to make these things happen. It just happens on its own.
no, it doesn't. Like, it's just he's I don't know, but he's just there, like
Yeah.
no, like
Yeah.
there, like,
If he's
and
there, can he say hi?
okay, he's not there,
He's not
but
here then.
like he listens, like
How
when
do you
you
know he
ask him,
listens?
like when he says, when you ask, you shall receive. So like,
Zoe, that
you
doesn't
know,
work. That's why there's children hospitals. If you asked, we would have received the healing of all the kids in the children's hospital. If you asked, nobody would be
yeah,
assaulted in his church, you know?
I agree,
Yeah.
and
So prayer doesn't work. At the very best, it works sometimes. But that's
yeah,
just chance and randomness at that point.
no,
You cannot pinpoint it to your
it's like
God because
I,
your God says ask and it will happen. Period. There's a period at the end. That's it.
but it's also like surrendering. Like you have to surrender. You have to
Great.
give it
These
to.
parents are surrendering their everything to save their kid in the cancer ward. Meanwhile, God says, no, I'm going to let it die, regardless of how many people pray for this child. I'm actually going to let it suffer and die. Kind of like he did with David and Bathsheba's kid. He struck it with a sickness for 7 days before he killed it. Why? Because David sinned and his enemies showed contempt. That's disgusting.
I
It's
know that
horrible.
that is horrible, and I know it's what I'm gonna say is probably very bad, but like
Oh,
some
no.
we have to see this has to happen.
No. And
To make
I'm
it
done. Nope.
happen. It was
Zoe, that does not have to happen.
which sounds so
Zoe,
messed up, and I know it sounds so messed up,
it
but
is
like,
100% messed up.
but
Yep.
like,
And you know it's messed up. And you're saying it's messed up. You know
is.
it. Your God does it and you worship him and you think it's awesome. Zoe, that is horrible. That hurts. That
It,
eats me up inside. It makes me feel nasty. I don't
it,
like it.
it even hurts me, but like,
But you're still going to worship him,
I will
even though
still
he thinks it's necessary for kids to go die from cancer.
no, but like, it was supposed to be like, I don't know, like God.
That's terrible.
I know it is, Michael.
All of it's terrible.
Myself talk. I'm like, I'm crazy. Why would I say that?
You're not crazy. Just step out of that. You're fine. Just break free from the bondage of faith, Zoe. You're fine. You got
No,
this. Think critically. You're almost there.
I know it's so messed up, but faith has literally changed my life. I know
There's no such thing as faith changing life. That's just pretending at this point. You're just pretending that it's Jesus. You're just pretending that he's answering your prayers instead of not answering anybody else's prayers that really needs them. You're just pretending that he's ignoring the children suffering. I mean, that's what faith is at that point.
Because like
it's pretending.
For example, like all these like also this is messed up. All these airplane crashes, they were meant to happen because
no, Zoe, no.
That we have now.
I'm gonna take the shovel away from you. No more.
Like, it was meant to happen. Like I know these
Zoe.
kids are fine, and it's so sad. But like, obviously, I don't know what to say.
I don't know. I don't knows are fine. I love I don't know, Zoe. Those are my favorite. But I cannot get behind this. This is just too grotesque and too horrible. I can't. Zoe, we're going to cut a little bit short here. I do want you to think about the things that we've talked about today. I do want to talk to you again, kind of see where you're at in maybe a week or two with this. Definitely message me if you have more questions. But I'm just not seeing how it makes any sense, and it's really disturbing to me right now.
I don't even know, even Michael. Like, I don't know.
I don't know either. But this has been fun. Plug where we can find you at, and then I'll give you a last words here.
Yes, amazing. That's awesome. Oh, thank you so much, Michael, for taking this time for this podcast today. No matter how weird it's been, but I appreciate you talking to me today. I really do.
Absolutely. Where can we find you at?
You can find me on like TikTok. It's and I'm just on TikTok really. But I am growing soon. Maybe get a website. I don't know. I need to create it. But like I'm very beginner, so
yeah. Well, let's build that structure first, so you know where you stand on these certain things. And what handle are you under TikTok? Is it under your name, Zoey Rana, or?
It's my name. Yes, it's my name. I'm just trying to.
All right, Zoe. Thank you so much for your time today. We'll stay in touch.
Thank you so much, Michael.
That's all the show there is for you today. Thanks for listening. As always, you can find all things BSW related on the show's website at thebiblesayswhat.com. If you like what you heard and want to help keep the recording light on, simply go to thebiblesayswhat.com and sign up to be a supporter of the show. Your episodic tithes of $1 or more will get you early access to each new episode on Wednesdays instead of Sundays. And no matter which platform you use to listen to your podcast, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on the next episode. Until then, would you kindly share and review the show?